Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This is a last-minute panel, but I'm super excited about it. Thank you, Ria. I'd like to welcome the cast and creators of Second Team. I will bring Ria in right now, the director. Hi, thank you for doing this. I will leave you guys to it and bring everyone in the panel in, and you can do the introductions. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yay, there they are. Best faces in all the land. Yay. Where's Cynthia?
I know, I'm looking for her. Oh, here she is.
Hello?
Thanks, guys. Hi. Thank you for doing this, Francia. Have a good one.
I just got out of yoga for everyone that you guys don't care, but I just got out of yoga.
And can we introduce the dog? I mean, come on. Let's get to priorities.
Roman.
Roman has his own IG. So, hi everyone. We have some of our cast of Second Team with us today. Francia Raisa down there, Greer Grammer, Gigi Zumbado, and our writer Anni Weisband. Thank you guys all for joining us. We got some good questions that came in from people that have watched the short. And then if you guys have anything that you want to ask these lovely ladies or Roman the dog, feel free to shoot us a message and we'll do our best to answer. So one of the questions that came through, ladies, and it's for whoever wants to answer first, is you're all very busy actors and a writer, obviously. What drew you to the project Second Team? Why did you come play with us? Anyone? Just raise, I guess.
I think all of us into this, just you being a part of this and this being something with you. I mean, I was happy to just have any opportunity to work with you again. Personally, that's why I was very excited to do this.
Thank you. Thank you. So Gigi and I, for everyone to know, worked together on a pilot, a TV show that no one got to see, unfortunately, but I was her acting coach, not just hers, the show's coach. And yeah, we bonded and the rest is history. So, mwah. And she gave me 2 cigars that I have not smoked yet.
Whoa.
No, like Cuban cigars. I know, is that awful? Should I not have admitted that?
No, I meant like, whoa, like that's a good gift.
Yeah.
Great Cubans. It's a great gift. I just feel like I'm waiting for some.
Right.
One of my friends is pregnant. Wait till she has a baby.
If it's a boy, you smoke the cigars.
Done. That's what I'm doing. All right, you heard it here. What else? Anyone? Why is everyone else here?
I'll go. So Ria and I worked together on Grownish, and we both, shared our love for or passion for directing. And so she, got the ball rolling and talked to me about it on set. And I almost feel like I was with you from like the beginning of all of this. Like
you absolutely were. Yeah, you were.
So I was really grateful that she asked me to be a part of it. So that's how I ended up being a part of the short, and it was really funny. And obviously, working with Annie was really fun. And my friends here, Greer. Can I tell the story?
Of course, please tell the story. Duh.
So, and I just met Gigi, but love her, and I just met your sister, which is crazy. But Greer and I have known each other for a really long time, and I on the weekends before pandemic, I was teaching yoga. And Greer came to my class, and when and our casting director, Gianna, also came to the class, and she comes up to me, she was like, do you think Greer would want to do this? I'm like, absolutely, yes, because my other friend, Danielle, who I asked to be a part of this project, had just signed on, and I was like, look at me. I am Cupid for actors.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, so that's how I came on board, because I had just taken a yoga class that Francia taught, and Gianna came up to me and talked to me afterwards, but didn't really mention anything. And then a day or so later, I got the offer, and of course, I wanted to be a part of it. I read the script. I saw obviously Francia was attached and involved, and I hadn't met Ria or Gigi or Annie, but obviously the minute I did, I was so obsessed and in love with everyone. But the material itself was so good and so great. And as an actor, I feel like we can all relate to the scenario that plays in the short. And so it just was so funny and so good. And I was just so honored to have been thought of, especially for the yoga class, because Lord knows I walked out of there looking not my best.
I teach yoga sculpt for everyone. Maybe wondering. I don't know who's wondering. I don't know.
I just want to say that what drew me was Ria. I feel like Ria, we met before season 1 of Grownish, right before, and we immediately hit it off and spent many long days together. And I just wanted to work with you.
True story.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so you guys know the way that Annie came to this particular project is I knew I wanted to direct a short film. I am a writer, but I didn't want to spread myself too thin. And I had read some of Annie's work and was enthralled with her voice and had a feeling she would get it. I had an idea that is loosely based on a true story, loosely, not that happened to me, but someone had told me the story. And I pitched it to Annie, and what was it, 5 days later, I think we got a rough draft. A rough draft is what she said. I was so blown away. It actually, that draft that we got over a year ago is almost word for word what we ended up shooting. And when does that happen? Like when, right? She was ready for notes. Ready for notes. And I said, it's so weird. I'm never without words, but I don't have any. How is
Thanks,
that possible?
Ria. That's nice of you.
Yes or no? Did it change? I mean, it changed slightly.
It did. I feel like we agreed on once it was cast to do a dialogue pass once we heard the actors read. Yeah.
Still didn't change much, but yeah, we did say that. And actually one thing, we're segueing a little bit, but I do want to bring this up. One thing that we changed is the beginning of the show after we'd filmed it, the fictitious show, Two Millennial Girls, we felt maybe went on just a little bit too long. And we'll ask you, Gigi and Greer, about how that was for you. But we felt like, we don't want anyone to turn this off because, like, what did we do? So that's just a great segue into the next question for you two ladies in particular. How difficult was it, because you're both amazing actresses, for you to be, bad or not, or canned, stiff? Like, how was that for you?
Greer.
I mean, it was super fun, first of all, to get to play something completely opposite than everything you've ever been trained to do in your life, which then also makes it extremely difficult because you really are going against every instinct you have as an actor and everything you've been taught. Like everything I learned at theater school and in every acting class and on every set had to go out the window because you have to do the complete opposite. So it was super fun, but definitely a lot more difficult than I would have thought it would have been, because you naturally want to say those words, well, and like a real actress. And it was hard.
That makes a lot of sense. And to not indicate that I am bad acting. And you guys both did that beautifully. I cannot tell you the feedback that we've gotten on that. It's that fine line between, oh, they're just pretending they're bad. You owned it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Gigi, what about you? How was that?
I remember thinking like, oh, this is just gonna be bad. And I remember you honing in on one of the takes we did. I did something with hands, and you were like, "That's it." Like, thing. Like, I guess I wasn't doing it. Greer was nailing it, the hey and everything. But I remember you just being like, the hand. Like, she overdoes her hand. And like, just go with that. And I was like,
yeah, we kind of found it. You found it, and then we owned it. Right. So it was a discovery period, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was hard to like hear directions from you, but also just be like, be worse. And we were like,
things you never thought you'd hear a director say.
Nope.
Okay, so changing gears here. Another question, which is the obvious about, we're in the middle of this ick. That's what I call it, ick, right? What have you been doing to either stay creative or sane or both? Are there any takeaways that or anything you'd like to share with us in terms of what you've been doing during this last, how many months, guys?
Forever.
30 years ago.
To stay creative, because you're all very creative women.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to share? I'm gonna call on you if someone doesn't jump in.
My answer is
Annie, it looks like you're burning.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna
saw
say,
that.
what have I? Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah, I did.
You could tell. Yeah. I would say to stay creative. I've actually was really struggling with that in the beginning of this. And so instead of trying to write new things, I was just revisiting a lot of scripts and stuff that I wrote maybe even like 10 years ago, like old stuff, and just sort of doing rewrites of those things to see if I could make any of them better or how they would change, I guess. And then once I did that, that kind of got things going, but it's been hard. Going for like being like like trying to like go for walks.
That's true.
Basically walks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like just making sure that my body is moving and getting outside has helped.
I can tell you what every single house 7 miles from my house looks like, because how many times I have passed the same block with my mom, and we can tell you the garden and who has lemon trees and who's growing tomatoes. I know the whole block.
I need to walk apparently. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I've gotten really into architecture, from all these walks. Like,
wow, I really appreciate you sharing that. I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't know why I'm doing other stuff, but I'm kind of, in my little bubble of doing stuff, but that's probably not great. Okay. I'm learning things. Greer?
I mean, I've also been going for tons of walks. And I'm not a walker, but like, especially during the summer, I would wake up and I would go for a run or go for a walk. And that definitely helped. But I don't know, I go and it comes in waves. It's like, there are weeks where I won't do anything. And then there are weeks where I'm like, this is the time we're getting up every day at 6 a.m., which is like not me because I'm not a morning person, but I have kind of forced myself to be one. I loved when all the houses started decorating for Halloween, because I was like, oh, time is passing, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, that was a thrilling time.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's been I'm like, oh, this is so nice and new.
And now Christmas.
Yeah, and now Christmas.
My lights are up since everyone asked. My lights went up yesterday.
I love yeah, as far as just like staying creative, I don't know. I feel like I've been, watching a ton of TV and Netflix and all that stuff, and trying to write or do anything that's somewhat creative. I don't even know if I'm doing it well, but just like doing something. So I think that's helped. Baking, I did a lot of baking. I think everyone did at one point at the beginning. Something to do.
Yeah, that's creative.
Yeah.
Francia, what about you?
My answer's kind of deep. The only walks I've been on is with this one when it wakes me up early in the morning. That's annoying. But other than that, I was forced to self-quarantine myself about 3 years ago because of a surgery I had, and I didn't take advantage of that time. I was actually really stressed, panicked, all the feelings that everyone had. So I had an advantage. So when this happened, I was like, okay, I've been through this before and I didn't do it right. So this time around, I'm going to take advantage of this break and do all the things that I've been wanting to do and talking about, but I haven't done it. So just like Greer, I've been watching a lot more TV and film, which is like really, really helped me work on my craft. I taught yoga on Instagram for a few of those months, like 3 days.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thanks guys for taking.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like I was looking at my calendar and I literally wrote like, pick oranges, journal, Marie Kondo your house. And and that's how I've been busy. Like a lot of things that we want to do, hobbies and stuff. I was like, let me just do it. I took a virtual cooking class. I just signed up for a wine course. I'm still just kind of staying busy and like the hobbies that I've been wanting to do. I've been working in this industry since I was 16. And one of the reasons I started teaching yoga was because I was like, I have nothing else but this industry, nothing else. And it kind of depressed me. So I took advantage of this time to be creative within myself, to see what else there is outside of the industry, but also working on my craft and like bettering myself as a person. That's been my year.
Nice.
Best answer.
Like, should we stand up?
I'll take it.
No, because I'm only looking good from here. I can't.
If no one has pants on.
I'm in yoga gear. You're fine. You all look great.
Oh my God. That was so beautiful. I have so many takeaways. I gotta go. I gotta go walk and I gotta go find
Yeah.
myself. BRB.
I was just like walks. That's all I said.
Period.
But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
one of the things that I
Exclamation
appreciate
point.
is before quarantine, I would have never come on camera without makeup. And now I'm so comfortable in my skin that I was like, hey guys, I came out of yoga. This is who I am, whatever. And that's probably one of the biggest like blessings I probably ever got for myself, because I used to put so much pressure. And now I'm like, whatever.
My skin cleared up. My hair grew. My skin was the best it's ever looked during quarantine. And like, I feel like I let my body like regenerate.
Yeah.
Just to like book this next job and then be in hair and makeup every day and have my hair singed. And I'm like, I looked so good during quarantine.
Yeah.
Yo, wigs are the way to go. I start asking for that on sets now, and it's saved my hair. It used to not grow. So yeah.
Did you say wigs are the way to go?
Yeah. I went half
Oh.
a wig on Grownish. So the top of my hair is really the only thing getting fried, but the rest of it is so healthy because it's under a wig.
Wig, not clip-ins, not like extensions.
I mean, the way they sewed it, it looks like half a wig. So you could say they're extensions, but just the way they are, like I don't know, it was weird. Tanisha did it.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah.
Tanisha.
Ask Tanisha.
Seriously, again, learning so many things. Okay. You're gonna need a neck brace for this segue, but yeah, hi. The people out there would like to know how careers got started. I know that's a very broad question, and you just spoke to you being at it for a while, Francia, since 16, you said, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to share about the inception, like the beginnings? A lot of future filmmakers out there wondering, and I know there's no blueprint, but
I could start that one since you just kind of geared it towards me. So I was 16 when I first started pursuing this. The movie 13 was what inspired me. I was actually pursuing a dance career. I've been dancing since I was 5 years old, backup dancing for an artist. And then 2 of his dancers had just come into rehearsal, and one of them was like, I just booked a guest star and I'm fabulous. And I was like, how did you do that? I really want to be an actor. I just aged myself. And she was like, oh, we have a manager. I literally knew nothing about this industry. I didn't know a mark. I didn't know managers. I didn't even know what an audition was, like just blank. And so I was like, oh, I want to be an actress. I've been wanting to do that since I was little. Can I meet your manager? Not realizing how bold that was at the time.
wow.
So bold. But at the time, their manager was looking for a bilingual actress. And I was like, well, I speak Spanish. Didn't know people lied about that too. So they put me to the test on my language. I swear to God. I was like, what? People lie? Cool. So, you know, she signed me right away. And I started booking like commercial and print jobs. My very first job was a music video with Lil Romeo. I was one of 27,000 girlfriends. And
How did we not know this?
yeah. And then about 6 months later, I booked my first movie, which was Bring It On, All or Nothing. And my dance skill is actually what booked that for me. So my story's weird. It's just, honestly, I believe in manifestation. When I was 16, I was like, I'm doing this. I'm pursuing this. I don't know how. And literally doors just started opening. So that's how I got into it.
Nice. And you still love dancing, right?
Oh, yeah. I still love dancing.
Such a good dancer.
I caved into the TikTok world when quarantine first started. So that's how I got back into dance. But
You just danced with Jordan. I saw you in her video.
yeah, I danced in Jordan's. Oh yeah, I did a music video.
So
Oh my God,
cute.
get creative. I went
By
back
the
to
way-
my roots. I did a music video. That's right. And I did JoJo's music video too. So that's my story. Who's next?
Wait, which JoJo one? Which JoJo video?
JoJo. It's called new album. It's called
Oh, the new. Oh, no. Okay.
new album.
Not like Leave, Get Out.
Yeah, I got
Get
really
Out.
excited there for a
What's the name of her
second.
song? Yeah, no,
But
I
still,
don't remember the
still
name of the
great.
song.
But
I'm a great friend.
Yeah, you are. That's awesome. What else? Tell more.
Me?
who?
Someone, no, thank you. I love that. But she said, who's next? Like,
I had kind of similar, I mean, not as crazy as Francia's, but it's weird that I didn't know the dance thing about you. I randomly, I have two sisters that are also in this, and they kind of pushed harder with acting when we were like teenagers. And they both got auditions for the Pitch Perfect movie as dancers. Like they needed Latin dancers to come in and do like this dance audition. And my oldest sister absolutely hates dancing, and she was like, absolutely no. And I was like, I want to do it. I love the first movie. I want to go with Maricela and do a dance audition. Ask your agent if I can take your audition. Like I was not signed.
Wow.
And the two of us went to New Orleans, did this dance audition, and then booked it with this random dance job. And then while we were in LA, the sister that was not in the movie was just like, we're gonna milk this, and we're gonna meet with agents, and we're gonna walk the red carpet, and let's see what we can do. And we all three got signed by the same agency that weekend, and just with our bags that were there for the premiere, stayed. And our mom mailed us all our stuff and like packed our bags, and we just never left LA.
That's amazing. I love that.
Oh my gosh. I love these stories.
Whoa.
Wait, are you one of 3 sisters?
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm one of 4.
Hey!
I'm number 1.
I have none.
You're number 1, Francia?
Yeah, I'm one of 3. I mean, I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay. I'm the baby of 4.
I'm the baby.
Oh, that makes sense.
You are-
Yeah, we're the babies. I can tell.
Are you the baby too?
Me?
Gigi? Yeah.
Yeah, Carmela's the
Yeah.
oldest.
Oh, you guys got it so easy.
Greer, do you have any sisters?
I do. I mean, my family life is super complicated only because like I'm a single child on my mom's side. So I was primarily raised as a single child, but my dad has 7 kids. So I'm one of 7 on that side. So it's like I have my oldest sister, Spencer, me, Mason, my little brother, Jude, a little sister, Faith, a little brother, James, and a little brother, Gabe. So we span from, let's see, I think Spence is 36 now. I don't know. I don't want to age her. 30. She's probably, I'm 28 and then 18. We range from like 30 to 4. It's my little brother's actually, my youngest brother's birthday today. He turns 4.
Oh, happy
Wow.
birthday. What's his name?
No, James.
James. He's probably
Yeah.
not watching, but happy birthday, James.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So I had a really cool kind of growing up with siblings because it was like I was mainly an only child, but also had this really big
People to play with.
yeah.
That's the best of both worlds, kind of, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Right.
is. I woke up on Christmas morning, but had all the presents for me at one house, and then like got to go and have like a lovely big family. Yeah.
Yeah, she's onto something. I
But
like it.
the Christmas monster that is Greer.
What?
What'd you say?
That's
Oh,
what started the Christmas monster that is Greer. She's a
Oh,
Yeah, the Christmas monster.
there it is. It all started there. Well, since we're talking to you, Greer, what was your first gig in the entertainment industry?
Oh, my first official gig, like with an agent, TV and film, was an episode of iCarly back in 2009. I want to say. Yeah, I played a girl who got to compete against the iCarly gang to go into space. So the episode was called "I Space Out."
I saw that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, okay, continue.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanna know which-
that was
That's it.
that was my very first thing, and I did not know anything about acting or filming or like what marks were, or that you had to do multiple takes. So like we had to do, you know, that cool thing that you spin in to get ready to go to space, like the G-force, I don't know, whatever machine. And I had to do that like 10 times. And by the end of it, I was so sick. I remember both Jeanette McCurdy and I were both like sitting in the corner, just like staring, trying to like get our balance right. Cause we had to do it a lot and it was hard. I had to eat a popsicle and I didn't understand anything about continuity. So like the first take, I was like eating a popsicle, and then like every take after I had to eat that much again. And it was like definitely something I didn't realize. And now I'm very cautious with when I have to eat in scenes.
I don't even eat because same.
Cause
No spit bucket though? No spit bucket?
Well, you don't realize it because you're so excited at first. Like I had a scene on Secret, like where I was eating cookies and cream ice cream. I was like, this is the best thing in the world. And then after take 27, I was like, I'm gonna die.
I can't keep eating this.
And you can't really put that in a spit bucket if you think about it.
True.
I screwed
Ugh.
myself.
So now you just don't. You
Mm.
just try not to eat. Is that what you're saying?
I don't eat.
Yeah. I'll take a few, but like if it's a big dinner scene or something, I'm sure I'll take a few bites every now and then. But like, I try really hard to not eat that much because you have to match, and it's just not fun. But so I sat there, and that was my very first thing that I ever booked and ever did, and it was so much fun. I had a blast, and yeah.
And then here you are. So I love it.
And here we are.
Annie, were you ever an actress?
Yeah, I was. Funny you should ask, Ria. Yeah, no, my mom is an actor in theater, and so that's what from Jersey originally. So I grew up around that world and quickly became obsessed with it. Started auditioning and stuff when I was about 6 and did a lot of theater, and then discovered writing. I think I discovered I was good. Well, it's funny. I'm finding these like I'm currently at my parents' home, and all of my childhood stuff is here. And I'm finding like stories that I wrote in like elementary school. They were all very dark. But anyway, one was about a talking cherry, which, yeah, if you want to direct that next, Ria.
Which that would be a
got
hit
it.
scoop, just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then I went to NYU. I started writing plays first, and I was doing a lot of sketch comedy and stuff in New York. And then the shift that happened was, well, I guess, yeah, what got me to LA really was grad school, the Peter Stark producing program. And that's how I met Kenya Barris and started working with him. And then that's how I met all of you.
It's good. It's good. I love it.
Yeah.
We have a audience question. It says both Francia and Danielle and Gigi and Greer are nominated for the Dynamic Duo Award at the NYC Web Fest this year. What did you all love most about each other's performances? Since you two are up for an award, and then Francia and Danielle, is there anything that stands out with you guys for other people's performances?
Francia, every time there was like a nice eye to camera capture, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't
Was that when I was holding the knife? Was that when I was
That's a look.
I think so.
It's a good look, though. I love
It's
it.
a great look.
To have that. That's a director's dream to provide them with those looks. I was like,
Absolutely. That then became a still shot. That then just because the takeaway is like, don't piss her off.
Yes.
You know, I mean, her or the character, like any of it. Just yeah.
Agreed. 'Cause
That's
then I
great.
hear you, you don't even know that I'm hearing you, huh, Ria?
All right. Okay.
But thank you, Gigi. That's so sweet. I mean, you guys are just great. Like, honestly, even at the table read, I was like, they're playing good actors. Like, you guys are too good. And then when we came to set, I was like, wow, I know, because you both are really great actors. I've seen your work, and I'm like, I don't know how they just did this, because it's so hard to all of a sudden turn off all that training. But I think my favorite with Greer was when she just says, like, your first line. Oh, no. When something about being allergic to cat, and you were like, you are? I was like, just the deadpan look on your face.
Vapid.
Just amazing. And then Gigi, you just cracked me up the whole time. You were like, yeah. I'm like, I know she's like cringing right now with herself.
I think we got lucky. There, just a side story to that.
Please.
Specifically with Greer, because I had to mainly work with Greer. When, I don't know, I think some of you guys know this. We finished like the majority of our scenes, and they're like, okay, you can go back to your green room. And we just met. We just met. We go back to the green room, and we're both like, something was going on that we were both a little tired. I know it was an early call time. And we were like tiptoeing around that we were both tired. And I was like, yeah, and there was a bed in our green room. And I was like, yeah, I'm sleepy. And she's like, yeah, I'm sleepy. And then Greer just at one point was like, all right, am I going to turn the lights off and we're getting in this bed in the covers right now? And I was just like, yes!
Yep.
You guys were out for the count.
For like 2 solid hours, like both were screaming. And I woke up and I was like, I'm Gigi. I feel like we're sisters now.
It's so good.
Literally, we're like bonding now.
We're like, so they don't like each other, so they're not going to work well together. Is that what we're talking?
Yeah.
And I'll see you that and raise you this. Remember at the table read, again, they haven't met each other. This is really, really, really the first time. And then you had to do still photo, right? You had to do some photos. We had to be like besties, and you're shoulder to shoulder, and you're laying down, you're hanging out. It's like, nice to meet you, and acting like you've had this. Your besties, this relationship more than besties.
In a past life or something, because I swear I would have never taken a nap that deep with anyone that I was not with.
I gotta admit, you guys are the most impressive because Danielle and I cheated. We've known each other. I did bring it on with her, so we've known each other. So to build that chemistry was so easy. So I gotta give it to you guys, like for you to not know each other and then do that, and then the minute they call cut within the short, and then you guys go into the actual characters you are, it was brilliant. Brilliant.
It was
So agree. And I'm sure Annie can attest to the fact that when we were in the editing room, trying to decide which takes and cuts and all that, we were rolling so many times. I mean, we had a lot of good laughs in that editing room. It was hard to decide for all of you, all of the entire cast. Yes.
It was a fun set, fun group of like the cast, the crew, everyone, like every single person there. It was one of those that you kind of wished was a longer project. Like it was one of those you got lucky that everyone was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was great.
You too.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, listen.
The beds in the green room, like I think every set should have
It was clutch.
That was clutch.
Yeah, we got to do that. Well, listen. Hopefully, stay tuned because we'll all be back together again. Ideally, isn't that right, Annie and Francia? Yeah. Okay, so here's another. Would anyone like to speak to, especially the actresses, what we might see you on in the future, the near future, or down the road? Is there anything we can watch for you on?
Grownish. New season airs in January. I don't know when, but January, right? I don't know.
So in 2 months, great.
So,
And that's season.
I don't know.
Whatever. It's a season. It starts in January. It's
4, right?
I think so. Next year,
4?
January.
No, it's like 3.5, I think.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah, like 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going behind the scenes. I'll announce that one soon. But I'm producing a film in the works of it right now, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, we can't wait. Great.
That's big.
And Gigi, can you speak about? Are you?
Oh yeah, everybody, watch Bridge and Tunnel on Epix Network, January 24th.
Oh wow, that's quick. You said you just finished shooting, right?
Yeah, I wrapped on Thursday, and we did all the DPKs and the press shoots, and it's coming out January 24th. So they're turning that around quick. It's a full season, and they did it in like 20 days.
How many episodes?
It's 6 episodes. So the first season is going to be 6 and just like a trial. But yeah, Epix Network is coming up with stuff real fast. And
Is it a half hour?
It's half hour. It's like a drama comedy about like, it's kind of like that 70s show vibe, like an ensemble cast that grew up together, but it's in the 80s. And then they all try to move to like Manhattan, but they're stuck in Long Island and like don't want to leave their home lives in Long Island. So, I bring the Long Island males and, Bridge and Tunnel.
Amazing.
But everybody else fucking talks. Oh, I don't know if I can say that. Talks like that.
Just it's all good.
Sorry, I'm stuck in Long Island.
Wait, what did you need? So how come your accent is so genius? Did you work with a dialect coach or what?
No, you hang around Ed Burns and the people from Long Island long enough, you just start talking like this and your hands go like this. And I'm Latina, so I usually am like this. But now, like this.
That's really good. That's
an
not
art.
easy.
I've been trying to get that accent for so long. Wow.
It's difficult. I'm impressed. And you have a question, Gigi, as long as you're on that. How has filming been going or went during the time of COVID? We all know it's very different, but how was that experience for you?
It's super different. But it was kind of like, because it was an ensemble cast, it was like a blessing in disguise. We all got put into the same hotel and we're just like they basically were like, the 6 of you, you're the only people you can hang out with without masks on. So get real comfortable real fast. And we did, and it was almost that thing that like taking a nap with Greer. Like it works to your benefit. It's just like it's a quick bonding experience, and we're supposed to be 6 people that grew up together from kindergarten until college. So it worked out there, but it's a lot to not like be able to leave your little bubble, especially with strangers. But it was fun. But it was good. I felt really safe. No one got COVID. We were everybody followed the rules, and it worked. So they proved we did it. We did a show, and they wrapped officially today everything. So they made it happen during the pandemic. So I'm excited to see how it comes out.
Wow, that's exciting.
It's amazing.
You ladies, is there anything we're watching for? Want to tell us about in terms of what you're doing now?
Ask a question.
Oh,
I'm just curious about just a follow up. How many times did you have to get COVID tested on set? Like how often was that?
My nose is still bleeding.
Okay. Anyway, all right.
It was every other day.
Okay.
actually, specifically, Greer and or Annie, are you working on any personal creative projects like that are? There's a typo.
I mean, yeah. So to circle back a little bit, so I did a movie last year that I helped produce called Deadly Illusions, which was with Kristen Davis and Dermot Mulroney. And that just got sold. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who bought it yet, but that should be coming out sometime next year. So I'm super excited for that. And thank you. And I shot a film in July that was called American Boogie Man, and it was about Ted Bundy. It was like a Ted Bundy horror film. So that was super fun. Also very stressful to shoot during COVID, especially that early on in the pandemic. But it was, I mean, it was so nice to just be on set again. And like, I think as an actor, you realize like you always love being on set. It's where I feel the most at home. It's where I feel comfortable because I know it so well. And I think I'd really taken it for granted until I was back there and I was like, oh God, I'm just so glad to like be doing anything and to be like where I know how things work and to be acting. And even though it's crazy, and we were getting tested like every other day and it was really intense, but it was just so nice. Like you really have a different appreciation for like being on set and being with a crew and doing what you love. So that was awesome. That should be coming out sometime next year. I don't know exactly when, but that was fun. And then like my own creative things, I'm working on writing a Christmas movie. I love Christmas. It's a personal story that I haven't really talked about, but my dad and I had a very estranged relationship while I was a kid, and we reconnected at a Christmas tree lot when I was 16. So I am writing a story based on that. So I don't know what's to come of it, but it is a really fun, creative, personal story for me that has to do with my favorite time of the year. So obviously I'm really excited. I don't know, once again, what's to come, but it is keeping me excited during all this.
Depending on the timing, I am happy to direct it. So we just have to talk.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Here, we look so much alike. Do you probably want me to play 16-year-old you?
Yes, I do.
That's what I thought.
That's really cool. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. But Annie.
What do I? Well, all of my stuff. I have 3 TV shows in development and 2 features. So this time, yeah. So they're kind of far from being seen anywhere, but give it like a year or 2, probably.
We got time.
Yeah.
Well,
We got some time.
It's a great book because I read it.
What is?
One of them that you're working on.
Oh,
Yeah. I read the book. That's why I know about it. The author sent it to me.
Oh, right. That one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm not writing that one. That that was
Well, I know you were working
producing.
on
Yeah.
we're talking in code, guys. Don't mind us.
Yeah.
I should probably say Grownish on Freeform. You just reminded me, Gigi. I'm like the worst. Grownish on Freeform.
Grownish on Freeform. Thank you. Yes, in January, just follow all the social media for dates and times and all of that. Another question from our people is, do you have any advice for new performers or creators who are starting out? Any sound bites for us or thoughts about people starting?
I mean, one thing that I always tell people, I know my story's kind of crazy, but like, I hate admitting this, I didn't start acting class until I was like 3 movies in. And honestly, I only booked the parts because I was able to do the art behind it. I was able to dance for Bring It On. I knew how to figure skate for Cutting Edge. And then I did 2 of those. So then I was like, I should probably get some acting classes. And I wish I did it before, because I kid you not, like, I kept hearing the term, she's green, she's green. And I so was. I look back at those movies, and even though they did so well, I was like, Jesus, I would have done something so different. So what I tell people is, like, learn your craft. Really study your art. Rita Moreno looked me in the eye. She says, I'm 80 years old and I still go to school. And, you know, it's you can always learn something. So I think the best advice I can give is make sure you go to a school that knows what they're talking about. And then as you grow in your craft, I think word of mouth, you'll start learning people, meeting people, and then that's how you kind of get your shoe in. Mm-hmm. It really is who you know. So start at a school where actual teachers are working in the industry. Like I work with Aaron Spicer, and he works with like every actor in the world. So I got a really good coach to kind of guide me through set and everything. Yeah.
That's great advice. I'm sure we've all heard people say, "Oh, I think I'll act." And I always say, "Yeah, I think I'm going to be a doctor." You know, and I know that's not an exact parallel.
No, that's a great. I use that analogy all the time. I'm like, you're not going to let a doctor perform open heart surgery on you unless they went through all of the required courses and they were qualified for it. It's the same with our craft, you know.
But even trickier for actors, because there's not a list of things. There's not a list of requirements. There's not a playbook that you can play. There's not a certain amount of years in school and stuff. There's not one, like just how you said, like your story's crazy. Your story, not to diminish it, it's not crazy. Like everybody's story, I think, is like there's not one plan. So
right.
I would say, like, I think acting classes is great, and every single actor I know is in acting classes that's working. But like also, if there's one weird thing about you or one special thing you like, whether it's the drums or the flute or like baton twirling, be the best baton twirler you can be, because someone can use that one day. Like your special thing, nail it. Like be the best. Like even if you're not right now the best, but there's something you like, hone in on that one thing. So when someone needs that random skill, you're there and you got it. Like, or learn a million skills.
Yeah. I
think this is a good time to mention that I got my Screen Actors Guild card by doing gymnastics in a tampon commercial.
Wow.
Yay, there it is. That's how, it's gymnastics for me. Mary Lou Retton, right here. Yeah. Okay, so learning skills, staying in class, taking class and staying in class, continuing to being a student. Those are great. Love those. Anything else, ladies? Annie or Greer?
Yeah, I would say in terms of writing, you need to be writing all the time, you know? And so, and I think like even more importantly, you need to write from you. Like, don't try to tell any story that doesn't come directly from you, because it's not going to be good, probably. You know, I mean, you can smell inauthenticity from a mile away.
Yeah.
And once you smell inauthenticity, and you can tell when you read something and it's not coming from somewhere like deep inside of the person who wrote it, or at least like their voice isn't coming through on the page. So I guess find your voice and use it.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Oh, good.
Over and over and over again.
What about Greer?
Same thing that I think Francia and Gigi said. I mean, I think that being in acting class is extremely important. My mom was a makeup artist and my dad's an actor, and they both have said the same thing throughout, which was, you know, like learn your craft, hone it in, learn why you're doing this. I think a lot of people try to go into acting because they think they want to be famous. And I think that's not necessarily the right direction. Like if you want to act, you need to know why you want to act. What's the driving force besides just trying to like get 1 million followers or to be famous? And to be fair, also it's all changed so much. I mean, even in the 12 years that I've been acting, I think there's a lot you can do with social media now and TikTok, and you can create your own stuff, and that can be a stepping stone. I don't know any of it. I feel like I'm an old person as far as this industry goes, because people are like, create your own content. And I'm like, what? Like, I just know how to act. Like, please hire me. I don't know how to be funny on TikTok. Like, what? That's not what I do. But I do think there are so many instances of people now creating their own stuff and doing their own thing and making their own brands. And I think that can also be just as important in today's world.
Greer's Instagram is basically Hallmark Channel. So if you are ready for December 1st and you don't for Thanksgiving, follow Greer Grammer on Instagram and feel
like Thanksgiving.
What's so funny is that a question was coming in right as you started to talk about influencing in social media, Greer. So to that end, let's stay on this for a minute, because they want to know, how important is social media at this point in your career?
Can I?
Anyone want? Yeah, Franz.
Yeah, you go.
So someone gave me this advice, and I don't know if it's going to come across wrong or whatever. I think social media is great because, you know, we all learn a lot of information from it. It also can be terrible because, you know, trolling, and you always kind of have to feel like you have to put this like highlight reel on social media. I think, you know, between the craft of acting and social media, I think, you know, it's a choice. You can either become famous by doing all this social media stuff and you make a lot of money or whatever, or you can be an artist and stick to your guns and wait for those opportunities that come your way at, you know, the way that we've been doing it. And so I do social media, obviously, but I made a decision that I didn't want to create my own content on there, because I definitely want, you know, to work with the, you know, David O. Russells of the world and stuff like that. So I focus on more so my craft and putting myself out there in that capacity rather than this one. Nothing wrong with it. I just made that decision. So is social media important? When it comes to negotiations, yeah, you get more money the more numbers you have. But again, you know, Kiki Palmer put this thing on social media today. She goes, would you rather be famous or make a living with what you love to do? And I said, I'd rather just make a living. So if I get paid to do acting and to, you know, create life out of an imaginary world, then I'll do that. And I do my best to draw a line on social media with how much I'm willing to do and share.
It's a privacy thing too. Like, especially you doing this since you were 16. Like, I'm sure when you started doing this, there wasn't a social media, and like paparazzi was a thing because you.
Girl, I'd be in a different world if social media existed during Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Same.
It'd be different, but yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it's such a, like, to me, there used to, like, paparazzi and tabloids and stuff used to be such a thing because you didn't get into stars' lives. You didn't know what was going on. And now social media is very, like, there's a lot of people that are very open, and I think it's great. But I personally am a person that, like, not even about the TikTok for dancing and stuff. Like, I don't like sharing that much. Like, I like to show what I like want to show and like be cute and artistic, but I would rather have no followers and just post on Instagram for just the things I like to post, or if it offends someone or something, like just be very real. And that was actually something with not a lot of networks like that, but actually Freeform, when we were doing the show with Ria, they were so cool. They're a network that is like, their demographic is like the younger crowd, so it is a lot of social media stuff. And I told them I was very comfortable because just like privacy concerns, and I've had bad experiences. And they were someone that was like, we got you. You absolutely don't even need social media. You can be private on everything. And then when we want you to show up, you can be on the Freeform account or something. Like, that was cool, because I always thought like networks like that were gonna be like, no, we need TikTok stars and do this, and we need everybody to want to know everything about you and follow you and know your life, because that is a huge thing right now. But I think like what Franz was saying, it's a personal choice. If you want to go that route, that's cool, and it's a great route if you want to ride.
So many people that work on that route, but I look up to someone like Scarlett Johansson. I don't know anything about her. I mean, we know she just got married, but you don't really know her personality, and I think it's easier to see her in all the different roles that she plays because you don't know her that well, as opposed to other people where you know too well. It's hard for you to see them in roles.
or to not see them when they're playing something, to like not see the things
Yeah.
you like.
Yeah, exactly. So I just chose a different route, as I'm sure you guys did for that
Well,
reason.
yeah, and I'd like to add, I feel like every one of you has your own balance, which totally works. Like Francia, I know that you maybe are a little more present than the others, but it never feels like, okay. I mean, it's just like a peak. And I think it's a really good balance that you found.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks. I mean, obviously fans want to get to know you, and I want to be able to provide that. But, we all are taught in life to set boundaries, and I have boundaries on social media.
Yeah. Which is really important. I mean, I struggle with social media anxiety like all the time, only just because, I don't know. I always say to my friends, I'm like, I miss the days on Instagram where you could just post a random photo of your food and like that was good enough. And now it feels like there's all these rules that like get in the way for me of enjoying it. And it eliminates the purpose of what it's supposed to do, which is bring you together and let people get to know you, because I'm like, oh, well, now I have to be in the photo and I have to post this like this time and it has to be this high quality and I have to do X, Y, and Z. And it like gets too much for me. And I'm like, I just don't want to do it because I don't.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't care, because I love interacting with the people clearly who have been following me since Awkward, because a lot of my fans still came from that time, which was, I don't know, 10 years ago. Maybe not that long. Whatever. We shot the pilot in 2010, so basically 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I love that, and I love talking with them, but at the same time, it's like there's so like that's not where I want to spend the majority of my time or my energy, because it takes a lot of your energy, even just editing a photo or trying to find it's just so much for me. But that being said, I don't ever want to knock it, because I know that there are people who really do love it and get a lot from it and enjoy making their own stuff on there, and it's super fun for them. So I do think that it can be a gateway and a good way to get your foot in the door if you don't know anyone or don't know anything, but you know that that's something you want to do. There's ways to definitely utilize it. I definitely am more reserved on it and don't post all the time, but I go back and forth. Sometimes I like to, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, and people that have used it, they're smart. Like,
yeah,
they're smart.
Kudos.
Yeah, but again, that's why I said it's a choice, and
Yeah.
I chose not to.
Yeah.
So we have just a few minutes left, and I want to springboard off of Greer's comment about food into our closing question, which is my question because I love food. And I want to know what's the best thing everyone has eaten, each of you have eaten in recent weeks, like a meal that just spoke to you, that just was like, and I'll start just since you asked. I went to a restaurant last night, which I don't do very often, because of the ick and whatever, but it was outside and it was all very safe, la, la, la. And there was this lobster toast situation, really random. And I didn't even order it, someone else did. And I'm still thinking about it. It was so good. I felt my tears well up in my eyes.
Wow.
So next, good meal. Anyone? Good meal?
I went to Austin for the first time, and I ate tacos that were really good. Do you want details, Ria? It looks like you want details.
I'd like a little bit
offline, or
I just want to know
there
where
was
they
a shrimp taco. No, because I have celiac.
Right.
I know you can get corn, but anyway, they were corn tortillas, shrimp, and there was cut mango, but not too much. Where you're like, what are you doing?
You lost me. But okay.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Well,
I love it. I do the pineapple tacos.
When I heard originally, I was like, I don't know, but it was a taco truck, and they really killed it. There were peppers and onions in it too.
Oh, okay. Anyone, food? What else?
There's a restaurant in LA that I haven't been to in forever called Hugo's. It's very popular. There's one in West Hollywood and in the Valley.
Oh.
And I had recently ordered Postmates from there, and I got this wrap that I hadn't had before that was, and I got it with turkey. It was a turkey burger, but they make it with regular burger too. Turkey burger, goat cheese, avocado, and like something else, and I don't know, but like it was something I was thinking about like for a very long time after. It's so strange because it's like seems like the most basic thing, like, oh yeah, like a turkey burger wrap with goat cheese, but it was so good.
The right combo. Okay.
My mind. I love goat cheese and I love avocado, so obviously that's why I'm so obsessed with it. But it was life-changing.
Francia, I love it. Francia food.
I don't have a specific meal. Here's the thing. My mom's been in Mexico during this whole pandemic, but my sister just got engaged last weekend, so I flew her out here a week early. So she's been in town for about 3 weeks now. Listen, it's been a long time that food has woken me up. My mom cooks every day. So she makes Mexican food. So I've just been eating like home cooked mom food for the last couple weeks. And like every meal is just epic. I mean, to wake up hungry and like smelling food in the kitchen.
The best.
Like I took it for granted when I was a kid, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So every day now I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. What's there to eat? All right, thanks. She's making ceviche tomorrow. So
Mom makes the best ceviche.
oh,
Gotta do a battle off, Francia.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to. But here's the thing. I think it's just because it comes from Mom. Like I could make it, but then it doesn't taste the same.
Right, because it's not as made with as much love, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, Lauren's back. Hurry.
No, I'm not rushing. I just wanted to. I'm just
Gigi,
starving now.
No, I'm so hungry too. Gigi, did you get any good meals while back east?
I live with my mom, so I'm used to the home cooking, but I'm a pretty lame. My comfort food is like Chinese takeout, but like in the cartons, like I like to just eat out, like shrimp fried rice, all of that. Gotta shout out Mimi's Kitchen in Long Island, Rockville Center. I ate from that place every single night.
Ooh,
Good, bad Chinese food.
Mimi's, Hugo's. We got a lot of places to go, guys. Okay.
I'm taking notes. I'm glad this is being recorded. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate this. I know it was last minute and you guys all came through. It's amazing. And Ria, thank you. You're a great moderator.
Yeah.
And panelist.
I think it's great that I didn't know I was moderating until like 20 minutes ago. That's better. So I didn't have time to get nervous. I saw the graphic and I went, oh, okay. We're doing this. Got it. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And congrats on your nominations.
Thank
The
you.
awards tomorrow night will be
Appreciate
streaming. Thanks, guys.
Great.
You're
Have a
going
good
down,
one.
Francia. Me and Greer.
Huh? What?
What'd
What'd you say?
Oh, we're over.
Wait, what'd you say? I missed
I
it.
don't know. You and Danielle are going down.